My guest for the morning, I have Kennedy Osenyako. He's a member of parliament for Achim Swedru. And thanks for joining me, sir. It's been a while. I haven't seen you since the last period of the year.
No.
The elections are over. You won your seat, so it was a comfortable lead for you.
yes, comfortable lead, yes.
And this one also is here. This gentleman has been with us lately, and great contributions from him. Member of Parliament from Young, Mohammed Abdulaziz. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, sir.
All right. Before I begin the discussion, so this one is from Charles Sam, and Charles Sam is a very good friend of mine, known as someone who inspires entrepreneurs. Says good morning to Mrs. Hannah Ofuswapia of Malam. You're 55 years today, and this one is from your children in Ghana and also in China. But as we begin the discussions, we know that the subject of the EC chair will just not go away. And this time we have a rebuttal from the deputy boss, that's Georgina Opukwa Mankwa, and saying that all the EC chairs said were wrong, and that according to her, the EC chair, Mrs. Charlotte Osei, peddled falsehood in the alleged corruption scandal and abuse of office that have hit the top hierarchy of the election management body. I'll start with you on the subject of the raging controversy, and we know that now the president has sent a petition to that was sent to him, of course, to the Chief Justice.
Yes. First of all, let me thank you for giving me the opportunity to appear on your great platform.
Thank you.
It's been a while, like you said.
Yes.
I mean, it is very sad and disheartening if you hear the current uproar at the EC. This is the only election management body that we have in this country, and for the past year they've been able to keep the country intact. So the moment you hear of some of these things happening, it's become of great concern to everybody, because if those that we've given them the mandate to keep us together, if they are on the turf or fighting among themselves, then definitely we, the citizen, we are going to be at the losing side. At the end of the day, if things doesn't move or go on well at the EC, the aftermath effect will be so great on this country. But what are the issues? I mean, the issues borders on some about, let's say, administrative or corporate governance problems, issues. Some of, allegations of criminalities, another corruption. These are three serious issues that have been raised. And if you listen and read about these allegations from this top two deputies and their boss, you can't just sit aloof. If you are in government, whether you're a citizen, wherever you find yourself, you can't just sit down and say, okay, let's allow them, that is their problem, you should allow them whatever they want to do. But no, we are using taxpayers' money to keep them over there, and we expect them that they do a diligent job, okay? So you go, and because of maybe your personal egos or whatever interests, you are not able to put it aside. You start fighting among yourselves, and you bring the name of this very big institution into disrepute. I'm worried that the whole electoral commission will bring the name of that big institution into disrepute. And this alone, I'm not saying that is, it's a basis to let them set aside these people, just sack them or whatever, remove them from office. No, that is what I'm saying. That is not what I'm saying. But the Constitution clearly spells out the only issues that can trigger the removal of these commissioners from office. One of them is bringing the name of the institution into disrepute. What they have done goes beyond even bringing the name of the institution into disrepute. Somebody saying that, oh, the chairperson doesn't have the requisite knowledge and understanding of the very institution that she's heading.
Oh, those are allegations.
The allegation, that's what I'm saying, it's a mere allegation. No prima facie has been established. That is why I asked for the president, what can the president do? The Constitution, when you read the Constitution, Article 146, 3, it tells you what the president has to do. That when he receives a petition, the president does not have the powers to determine.
But the president is not compelled to send the petition to the CJ.
Well, but it has been delivered. He is not compelled. The Constitution has not stated it categorically.
Yes, but the president is not compelled. It's in his right.
You see,
it's in his right to say that.
You are right. You are right. But nothing also. So these allegations that borders on the integrity of the very institution that we have.
And that's why the president is compelled to send it to the appropriate body.
Yes, because it borders on the integrity of electoral commission. And you cannot just sweep this purported allegation under the carpet and just allow it to go. So the president, the best thing that the president would have done is, okay, let's forward the petition to the CJ. The CJ has the powers by the Constitution.
Yeah.
To say that, okay, this petition that the president you have referred to me, does not carry any weight. There's no merit in it, so let's put it aside.
Very well.
That one is the prerogative of the CJ.
Yeah.
The Chief Justice has to determine that. And we need to give that kind of space to the Chief Justice to, now that he has received the petition, to decide, to say that, okay, well, though, President, you have referred the matter to me after going through critically, weighing all the legal, the pros and cons of, the petition before me. I don't see any prima facie against.
So you're saying we should leave it to the CJ, just like the president has.
Yes, just the president has that, because
the president is also compelled by the Constitution to.
Yes, to do that.
Okay.
That is the most important part of it. The president by the Constitution is compelled, and he's not in any capacity to determine the competence of the petition that is before. He has no powers to decide that, okay, oh, this petition, there's no merit in it, so I'm not going to. No, that is not what the Constitution has mandated.
I think a very valid point so far. Mohammed, what do you make of it?
Good morning, Roland, and good morning to my chairman. He's my chairman.
He's the chairman of your committee?
Of my committee.
Which committee is that?
Local Government Committee.
Oh, okay.
Rural Development.
Oh, you're chairman of the Local Government Committee of Parliament?
Yes,
by his prayer support.
He's my new chairman. So you have brought me onto your platform with my chairman. And good morning to our cherished viewers and my constituents from Myong.
You were not affected by floods, right?
No,
okay.
I was not affected by the floods in Tamale. But I share a border with Tamale South, and so to some extent I'm affected. I agree entirely with the submissions of Chairman here that this issue is worrying, that the very institution on which our democracy is anchored on is being threatened by some personal differences, by some accusations that relates to breach of the procurement law, and some other excuses or issues that you cannot phantom where they belong to. And so we have a duty as political parties, as parliament, and even you as the media, to do whatever in our capacity to resolve the issue amicably. I think that it is a call on the Peace Council, the clergy, and all the very moral institutions we have in this country to step in to see how this matter can be resolved, so that we can continue to thrive as a democratic country. Ghana has earned a lot of commendations from domestic and international institutions for being able to sustain a multi-party democracy from 1993 up to today. In fact, the fourth Republican democracy is the longest we have endured as a country. And so we must be very, very careful not to undermine the process. It is not about the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. It is not just about 2 deputies or other staff members. It's about the collective interest of we all Ghanaians. The ordinary guy. Look, you can't have democracy without free, fair, and transparent elections. Having a competitive, transparent elections is the beginning of democracy. Is the beginning of good governance. And so I am saddened that this matter seems to be dividing us on partisan lines. And I hope
is it? It's just a petition, not by any political party, but
I understand,
but group of workers of the commission through their lawyer who are raising such concerns.
I agree with you, but if you watch the posture of all the political actors, I mean, it gives you some
it gives you some cause to worry. Okay.
And I think that is unfortunate. I am not in a capacity, I don't have the capacity to determine the competency of the petition. But we do know that that petition had some deficits. For instance, it went to the president without petitioners, the names of the petitioners. And I am very much convinced, I don't have any training in law, but there cannot be a competent petition without the names and the signatures of the petitioners. In fact, it was the lawyer who signed. And so it was not out of order when the EC chairperson and some other people called for the people to reveal themselves. I hear the names have been subsequently been submitted to the office of the president. We've had a communication from the presidency indicating that the petition has been forwarded to the Chief Justice. In fact, the president had no any luxury of choice. The word used in Article 1462 is sharp, that the president is mandated to forward the petition to the Chief Justice. In fact, it is only the Chief Justice who is clothed with authority to determine whether she would proceed with the matter, and that is establishing whether there is a prima facie case against the EC chair. If she deems that there is a prima facie case against her, then the committee will be put in place. If, on the other hand, she thinks that the petition lacks merit, then she would ignore it, and that would be the end of the matter. And so the discretion is at the back of the Chief Justice. If you read Article 296, in any time you are called upon as a public officer to exercise discretionary powers, it is deemed to imply being fair and candid. And so we can only rely on the professional judgment of the Chief Justice as of now, that she should be fair and candid in exercising her discretion to determine whether there's a prima facie or not. Because what is standard of measure? It is subjective.
What's the benchmark?
It is subjective, very, very subjective. And so, the lawyers would be better placed to talk of some standard of proof that's required in a criminal proceedings. But I'm saying that the Chief Justice has every duty to be fair and candid to all parties in this matter. She must have in long sight the stability of this country and our future elections and democracy. Those are the ingredients that I think should inform her decision going forward. And what is worrying has to do with the way that we discuss the matter in the media. And so my worry and question still remains: who leaked the petition to the media? Was it the petitioners, the faceless petitioners, or their lawyer, or the presidency? Because you see, once you petition the president and you make it public, and it was discussed in the media, traditional and social media, some allegations leveled against the EC chairperson, it lowered her image in the eyes of the right-thinking Ghanaian, and so she was also compelled to respond just to deal with the media brouhaha against her.
But her response was it not to Iyoko?
But you see, and that is my worry, that the petitioners were dealing with the presidency as required by the constitution and were dealing with Yoko at the same time. I thought that they should have limited their petition just to the president, because that's what governs the removal of the EC chair. And so for them to have triggered a too strong approach, the presidency and the Yoko, will just look for a narrow opportunity to bring their matter to play in the public gallery. Yeah. And I think that was not proper. But all said and done, I'm sure matters are beginning to find their own level. And let's see how the Chief Justice would proceed with this matter. And like I indicated, the guiding principle should be the stability of our democracy and country.
If you look at page 20, Mr. Kennedy Ohenenyako, Dominic Ayine, former is he Attorney General or Deputy Attorney General?
Former Deputy Attorney General.
Okay. He has written a very cogent article, his opinion, of course. And it says the recent happenings of the Commission must give all lovers of democracy cause for grief. It says the emergence of a petition directed against the chairperson of the Commission and subsequent response provided by the chairperson require urgent collective action to restore integrity and credibility to an institution. Now, you know Kakre Samoa?
Yeah, no.
Okay, so he has this one. He has this column called Abura Epistle, and he's got Colin here. He says that if you take a look at what happened, he says if there are so many sides to the raging debate on accountability and good governance within the EC, and the calls for action of some sort or other that may have led to an easy trap of assuming that these debates have no relevance to the stability of the constitutional order. As in, if the president goes as he has forwarded the commission, the petition, is doing that according to law.
Yes.
Whilst his intent may be positive, it has an influence on how the Electoral Commission will be viewed and its integrity. Yeah. So the president may be doing that in law, but at the end of the day, his action will also not inure to the benefits of the integrity of our democracy. Do you understand? He's acting in law.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, his article is saying you are sending the Electoral Commission and the various individuals mentioned to the gallows to be hanged.
Well, the framers of our constitution were not ignorant. Yeah. They knew exactly. They knew exactly what.
That's interesting.
Yes. They knew exactly what Article 143 would trigger. They knew it. So, their own wisdom, they couched that article that way. So I don't see it that way. You see, anytime there is an issue in some of these independent bodies, it is only going through the constitutional processes that can bring sanity to that institution. One, you have to know that Electoral Commission is an independent body. So you can't just go in and say, oh, because you people are doing this, I have sacked you, go home. This, you can't. You have to follow through the constitution. So that is the only route. That is the only route. I am happy. I heard somewhere that Madam Charlotte Osei reported informally some of these issues, but I mean about
the concern that
deputies,
she has.
Yes, to some of the Council of State members. I heard it.
From some quarters?
Yes, from some quarters. There was no, it's not formal. She didn't make it formal like a written, just informally. She engaged them to report this kind of incidents. But you see, nothing was done. And the thing has come out. I am happy this thing is happening now. Had it not somebody, I don't know, like you call it, whether it's a rare petitioner or a faceless petitioner, had it not been that person coming out with this petition, wouldn't have triggered all these other issues that are coming out now. Would you have known that an amount of 6.5 million Ghana cedi were paid to an individual at the EC without any accountability? Would he have known that somebody at the EC on its own authority illegally transferred votes? Would you have known? You wouldn't. Would you have known that somebody signed a contract of about 40 million Ghana cedi
without
proper recourse to the procurement laws? Would you have known that somebody signed a contract $123.6 million and one $16.4 million with STL without recourse to proper procedures? Would you have known? You wouldn't. Would you have known that the EC chair, upon careful consideration or review of this said contract, was able to negotiate to bring down the cost of this
said
contract to about 7.5 million or so? You wouldn't have known. So, I mean, this petition has triggered so many things that were hidden, now is in the limelight. It is up to us as a country. You know, for the past, people have various perceptions, views about the activities of the EC. This is the right time. We need to put the EC back to...
It's true.
Yes.
We need to restore the integrity.
We need to restore the integrity. And I have said in other platform that even if the CJ, the CJ comes out to say that there's no prima facie case against the EC chair or other deputies.
No, this one is with the EC chair.
Okay, the EC chair alone. I'm sure later
the petition
will be the EC
is in
chair.
relation to. But the other investigations are with that's with the Yoko.
Yes. I can tell you that the EC will never be the same as you have rightly put it. They will never have the integrity. So how do you put or restore the integrity of EC back? And I have advocated somewhere that if it is in the Western world somewhere, they wouldn't, the chairman and the two deputies wouldn't wait for even any conclusion of
that reminds me of Japan. Just because of a scandal of allocation of troops to the Sudan, etc. The defense minister has
resigned to step down. But you see, that is not our culture. We think that, no, we have the right, constitutional right.
The Korean president or prime minister, both disaster that resulted in deaths of people. He had to resign.
Yes.
So he just morally
said, when people, you see, we don't view, people in position don't view their position.
But even you wouldn't resign.
Well. No. I see my position as a privilege, not a right. Some key people in position see their position as a right. And that is why they find it difficult sometimes when they are, saddled with some of these issues, they find it difficult to give in. But you see, if after everything we allow these three commissioners to stay there, they cannot still work together. That is the fact that they can't.
Okay. Because so your point is that something has to be done.
Yes, something has to be done.
Someone or something has to give in.
Yes.
So, okay, now we cannot, of course, the Chief Justice has the capacity, the legal backing, etc. What will happen if a ruling says, or maybe the committee undertakes an investigation, it comes out with a report as mandated by the Chief Justice, and it says it recommends the removal of the top and the other two? Have we thought about it?
I cannot tell exactly what would be.
No, we're not saying hypothetical.
Yes, exactly.
But you don't want to discuss a hypothetical situation.
No,
it could happen.
Maybe
it can happen in Ghana.
Maybe I'm not putting my statement right. If that happens, I will not be able to tell for sure what will be the state of our country. But you see, there's no.
Well, nothing. There will be no war.
There is no petition. There
will be no disaster.
There is no petition against the two deputies.
Yeah.
And so, even the committee, if the Chief Justice decides that there's a need for a committee to go further into the merits of this petition, it would only be directed at the EC chair, because there's no any petition before her in relation to
the
two deputies. Now the question that arises is, if, for instance, the EC chair is removed from office, at the end of the day, the sitting president would have every duty and responsibility, acting in accordance with the Constitution, to appoint a new EC chair. I don't know what would be the position and the response of the opposing political parties. Would that not feed into a perception that, look, you have just come to hunt out this woman, so as to bring your own person to chair the EC? If that happens and the MPP even wins, I don't pray for that to happen though, if they do win the 2020 elections, would that have some acceptability by all political parties?
Oh, please, they want 2016 square and fair.
No, you see, under Madam Charlotte Osei, I'm saying that if Madam Charlotte Osei was removed and replaced by an appointee of President Nana Akufo-Addo, the level of acceptability would be challenged. If that EC chair declares an election result, rightfully so, in favor of the MPP, the level of
why not NDC?
No, I'm just telling you
the scenarios,
the possible scenarios, and I'm saying that's why I said that the Chief Justice in handling this matter must be guided by the aspirations, the stability of our country, the sustenance of our democracy must be the guiding principle. There's no any petition against these two other deputy commissioners. You see, in reference to Article 146, the EC, I'm sure somewhere Article 44 or so, the EC's independence is very, very assertive, very, very clear. As a check on the EC, I'm sure the framers of the Constitution had to institute these protocols to be able to check on some of the excesses that the EC could engage in. Yeah. And so it is not like nobody can comment on EC, they cannot be investigated. Look, they are funded by state funds. And so those ones, I'm sure those checks and balances are proper, that the framers of the Constitution found it necessary to put in place those checks and controls as protocols to guide the EC. Back to all the issues that Chairman raised about award of contract to 40 million without recourse to
those
the
allegations,
public.
Yes.
They remain mere allegations. They remain mere allegations. Someone transferring votes.
They remain mere allegations, but not just not. They are just not mere allegations.
No, you see.
The EC chair.
You see.
Made those claims.
She made those claims. So
we're not saying that they are true. That's why we say they are allegations.
Some claims have also been made against the person of the EC chair. I want us to have the understanding that they all remain allegations for now.
Okay.
And that going into the future, I'm sure in the next few days, we would have known the direction of the EC chair. But I'm worried. I read a story on a sister station, Star FM Online, and there's this gentleman, Ibrahim Ajay, a staffer at the presidency, who had virtually rubbished the response of the EC chair.
Yeah, but that's pedestrian.
That's
pedestrian comment.
That cannot be.
You cannot say that that's a view of the president.
No, that cannot be.
That's a pedestrian comment.
It is pedestrian,
but because he's a presidential staffer.
The comment could be pedestrian.
Why don't you ignore the comment? Why do you want to make it a mainstream issue?
How do you ignore a comment of a staffer of the
president?
No. Because we're all in this country when those allegations were leveled against Madam Charlotte Osei. Nobody at the presidency or anywhere found it necessary to rubbish it.
But
she's responded.
Let me just cut you. Let me just truncate you. The official position of the president is the action he has taken.
Yes.
Oh, which
the president doesn't have any.
Indeed, the official position of the presidency is the action taken by the president.
I was the first on this platform to indicate that the word used in the Constitution is sharp.
So why then you are being mischievous in bringing the other one in?
Yes.
That the president was right in referring the petition to the CJ.
Yes.
But I'm also saying that Ibrahim Ajay, the staffer.
He's just a staffer. That's a pedestrian comment.
But there have been serious comments. There have also been serious comments made by.
No, I'm saying,
party people.
Based on the role given to me by the producers, I can say that inference you are making is just he's making a pedestrian comment.
Yes.
But I would want us to conclude. I would want us to conclude the discussion on this subject by also. Perhaps intriguing our mind about why this has become a political issue. Why has it become an NDC opposition issue?
It's
NDC, MPP in government issue. NDC in opposition issue and an MPP in government issue.
It is very sad, and I don't know. It saddens me that in this country, virtually everything in this country has been turned into politics.
Apart from thinking.
I'm sure when you go and buy a new car, they'll say that it's because that you're getting more money.
You see, definitely
from government.
Definitely, the society. I don't know. I don't know how I should put it, but it is very, very dangerous when we cannot depoliticize. I mean, our biasness in terms of our political stand on matters of national importance. Every issue is being viewed MPP, NDC. And I've said on other sister stations that if we are not careful as a country and we continue with this kind of attitude, it will get to a point that this whole country, will be on its knees. Because nothing will go on. Everything will be standstill because you dare not to talk about people manning certain institutions. You dare not to comment about issues pertaining of national importance because you'll be tagged. And you'll get the two political parties. But here, the worst corporate of all is my brother's party. They are the people that decided to bring political twists into this matter. But I've heard when the matter came first, I heard even the minority leader saying that the president should keep his hand off, and that is the president who is behind. You should not veer, you should not encroach into
the territory of the...
Yes. Why should he make such a comment? He's a leader of a political party in parliament. So you don't have to even have such mindset in the first place. You don't have to veer to that angle. The moment you go there, then it means you want to just muddy the situation, either to rubbish the allegation that has been made competently or incompetently. You want to just throw it away. And there have been several instances in this country. Anytime there is an issue of national importance coming, it turns to politics. We throw it away. Yeah. Everybody is afraid to go and talk about it.
Why?
But I don't want this very issue to be turned into politics. We should name and shame all political actors who would want to turn this matter into politics. This is what we have. This is what we have. YEC is the only body that we have to keep our democracy intact. So if we want to turn that place into politics, then we are gone. It means we are done. We are done because the moment we introduce partisanship politics at the very institution that has been mandated to play an independent role, it means the integrity of that very institution comes to question. And we don't have to go to that line, that tangent. And that is my worry. And as a country, as moving or going forward, we have to know that we cannot build a country, a prosperous nation, with this kind of a partisanship approach. And it cut across all the political parties. I would say, I am also guilty of that attitude. But it won't help us. It won't take us far. It won't take us anywhere. It will not help us realize. But let us deal with matters on its own merit, as it is, but not introducing partisanship.
How do we remove the partisanship and the position of the various stances that have been taken out of the whole equation or the narrative?
You see, I think that the Council of State would have a very big role to play in this matter. Reading through the Constitution, everything about the Council of State is related to advising the President. I'm sure these are some of the times that we would want to see the relevance of the Council of State. And so maybe when we have an opportunity to review the Constitution, we should be expanding the mandate and functions of the Council of State to include stepping in times of this nature. Now, as political parties, we cannot avoid being partisan. After all, we are political parties, and our democracy thrives on very vibrant political parties. What we need to eschew as a country is extreme partisanship. It's extreme partisanship. We cannot, I mean, whether you like it or not, my chairman belongs to the NPP and would advocate for the interest and position of the NPP. I'll do the same for the NDC. It's true.
No, Ghana first. I'll advocate for Ghana. As a chairman, I have to advocate for Ghana
first. Ken says, you know now his party is in power, so he's going for Ghana first.
Oh, I'll go for Ghana first.
And so what we need to avoid is the extreme partisanship, trying to politicize every matter in this country. And that's why some people have called for we doing some reconfiguration of our laws, especially the Constitution, where we have the winner of an election taking almost everything. The winner takes all attitude, and even when a political party
what do we want? Coalition government?
Not coalition. We should be opening space for opposition parties.
I can imagine NDC and NPP sharing government.
No, we are not calling for a coalition government, but we are saying that in order to reduce the tensions that we have, we should try to look. Today, if a political party wins power, you see the party boys going to lock up toilets, assuming responsibility.
And if your party wins, it will happen again.
Toll booths. Now, Chairman and Co have escalated it to vigilante groups and stuff like that. So I think that as a country, I mean, that was just on a lighter note. But as a country, we should eschew. I like your comments when you related it to the comments of our leader. I wish you had the same posture when people were running down Madame Charlotte Osei, even prior to her announcement as the EC chair.
Oh, you mean during the electioneering? During the electioneering.
Today,
well,
but that's okay. The two of you, your matters will not maintain.
Yes.
We have a chairman of a committee.
I was maintaining
that. The chairman of a committee and his member, they are guests today. But let's go to Parliament. And something interesting happened in Parliament. We'll do with that 10 minutes and go to free SHS. And we're told that some interesting issues are also there. So Parliament first.
Are you opposed to...
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Unfortunately, I kept Friday, you couldn't catch
Honorable Minority Leader.
Mr. Speaker,
Honorable
it is important that the Speaker respects the front bench of the minority. Why do you want to couple us? You have to give us space to be able to put our views. Mr. Speaker, you cannot stifle the space for the minority leadership. Mr. Speaker, the day before yesterday, there were questions that were supposed to be asked yesterday in this House. They were not on the other paper. You didn't give us the opportunity to raise them. Yesterday, we advertised. There were questions to be asked today again. They've not been put on the other paper. You are not giving us the opportunity to even air our views. Why? No, we raise it at the leadership meeting. Why? If you don't want us here, we want us. So that you take the House. If you don't want us to be here, if the Speaker thinks we should not be here to air our views and concerns of our side, we will be ready to walk out so that you can have a business with only the majority. Why? Sometimes you have to do it that way.
Quite interesting as it is. What was the problem of the minority?
We don't have a problem. We're only saying,
clearly, you are hitting tables. You're shouting.
We're only saying that let us have our say and let the majority have their way. And that one too is a problem. No. I was just reading the inaugural speech of the Speaker. And look, very, very interesting remark that the Speaker made during his inauguration. And with your kind permission, I will just read a line or two and then proceed. I wish to congratulate all of you honorable members for winning your seats. It is a unique opportunity to serve our dear nation. I look forward to maximizing the opportunities for every member to contribute. I trust the experienced ones will mentor the upcoming. Those who sit in front should please learn to look behind them and to allow blah, 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 blah. Now, somewhere it says that I need to remind you MPs. No, this is not what I want. To the majority, let me remind you that we have a two-party parliament heavily dominated by you. There's, however, the need to be guided by high ethical consideration so that we do not relapse into ultra-majoritarianism, a symptom of a tyranny of the majority. We would encourage healthy debate. To the minority, even though most parliamentary business is organized on majoritarian principle, the time-honored, listen to this one, the time-honored rights of minorities to open, frank, fair, and honest debate so as to make your case and offer constructive alternatives would be respected under my leadership. Those were the words of Right Honorable Speaker Mike Aaron. And I'm sure these words were carefully chosen. He contemplated over them and put them onto paper and came to read it to us during his inauguration as the Speaker of Parliament. So all that we were asking for was for the Right Honorable Speaker to live by the words that he uttered on the day he was inaugurated. Leadership have a special dispensation. You cannot treat our front bench just like a backbencher. And so we actually took some strong exception to the way and manner he handled our front bench, especially the minority leader. And he had indicated, the minority leader had indicated that he was coming through a substantive motion to challenge the authority, the ruling of the speaker on that matter. And so we wait to see how that will happen. But all the same, the chief whip still thought it wise to register our protest publicly. For instance, let me just give a very good example. On Wednesday, there was a question in the name of Honorable Okujeto to ask the Minister for Foreign Affairs about this Guantanamo Bay detainees. That question appeared on the other paper on Wednesday. It never came on. Yesterday, Thursday, it was not on the other paper.
It didn't reappear?
No, it was not on the other paper. And the Deputy Minister was in the chamber to
come and respond to previous
not to respond, to come and put it before Parliament. You see, and so you have raised a question on a matter. It is advertised. You come to the chamber, you are not called to ask that question, only for an action to be taken the next day.
For you to be briefed, instead of you asking.
Exactly.
And you think it's because
those are
it's with the prompting of your question.
Exactly. And even earlier, one thing that we had suspected, and there are evidences to buttress that, a minority member files a statement on a raging issue. And what happens is you see the admissibility being dragged until a counter statement is filed and admitted from someone from the majority side before that statement is admitted. So for instance, if I file a statement on a matter that is not too good in the light of the ruling party,
you get to find that.
They wait until they prepare someone with a statement, a counter one, a praise-singing statement. So you do yours, instead of the House debating and contributing to your statement, a counter one will be read before it is open for contributions and debate. You see, this does not promote healthy parliamentary work. Question times, as the Minister of Agri was in the House to answer questions in respect of the planting for food and jobs. And parliamentary questions are a very integral part of our oversight responsibility. And so when it comes to using that one to exercise our oversight responsibility, the Speaker and the leadership must agree and go by the terms. At the end of the day, they will have their way. But let's have our say. And we think that our bench was not treated right.
Ken?
Well. It's yesterday was very sad in our democracy. I mean, I was very sad.
Because?
I have been in Parliament. I was part of the 6th Parliament.
This is
my second term, and I'm here. I have had the opportunity to sit under the leadership of Honorable Duajao. And I'm now under the leadership of Speaker Aaron Mark Oquaye. I want my brother to be honest and truthful to himself.
He's a first timer.
Yes, but Aaron Mike Oquaye has been, I don't know how to even this. When it comes to fairness in the House, at times we from the majority side, we get so boiled up, we get angry because there are certain matters that we think as a speaker, you shouldn't have even entertained
the other side. So you always want to have your way.
He is the one who said that even if you want to come and debate my
So in the inference you are saying that so far you like the current speaker based on your experience than the previous.
Yes, because
so you're saying the scenario that the minority is painting was worse when they were in the majority.
Worse. Ask any minority member who is now in majority.
And we never heard it.
But we make the complaint. Sometimes we make it either on the floor. It's not all the time that, but you see, we did not go on the extreme way like how my leader took to yesterday. It was very sad. I mean, you are in leadership, and what have been the convention in the House that any time they say questions and answers time, questions and statement. When it comes to question, they are specific to constituencies. Okay, so I can go and write my question, inviting the Minister of Roads and Highways to ask him about my roads. When it comes to the House, and
of which there are a lot of roads in your constituency that have not been done.
Very bad roads which the minister is aware and is working.
Right.
Yes, he's working on it to fix those roads anyway. You see, when it comes, I have as the main person who asked the question, I have 3 opportunities. After the substantive question, I have the opportunity to do 3 follow-ups. And after, the speaker now allowed other members to also ask questions. If it is constituency specific, he may not even allow any member, apart from leadership, if they have something, just to make one comment, and that's all. But when the issue is of national importance, then he will invite. Yesterday, if you were there, the Agric minister came to respond to a question that had been filed by a minority member. And after, the speaker thought that this is a matter of national importance. They were talking about the planting for food and job. So this is a matter of national importance. So let me allow as many as can ask questions for it to be addressed by the minister once the minister is in the House. And I can tell you, the number of people, the minority side got the opportunity to ask questions more than the majority side.
Were you willing to ask questions?
We were willing. You see, I have been sitting. You know, I'm on the. I always sit at the right side of the speaker at the extreme end. But anytime I get up, the speaker does not recognize me.
And you are saying that ideally, his eyesight should be locating you first.
Yeah,
from the corner.
You should look through all the but all the time, the speaker's eye is on the minority side.
No, that's not true.
But I am telling you. Wait, but I thought he's in the middle.
That's not true.
I'm telling you, most of the majority have had cause to complain about it.
But
so you are saying they are not being fair. They are not being
fair to.
They are not being truthful too.
Yes.
All right, so let's just watch the majority leader, Oseche Mensah-Bonsu, raising some issues with journalists on Thursday.
Following acts or conduct shall constitute a breach of privilege or contempt of Parliament, and C provides flagrant, persistent, or willful disobedience of the general rules or orders of the House. So if you are a leader and you are doing that, you know you can be cited for contempt. And yet, because we want to be very consensual, I decided not to raise this matter. These matters that are related to, because I didn't want to poison the atmosphere all the more.
For Joy News, Joseph Opoku-Gakpo reporting.
No, interesting point there. But let's move on to the subject of free SHS. And apparently, Wahira is not even going to cover those who want to repeat. So if, let's say, you're going to Infantipem, you'll be repeating the second year, it means it's only going to cover you for 3 years. So if you went to Infantipem first year, second year you were there, you were repeated the second year, the third year you will not be covered. But it's still good news that in September it's going to take off. I only wish I had given birth earlier so that my children could be the early beneficiaries. What do you make of it's wonderful news for many parents.
Yes. I mean,
the minority say you want to do praise singing.
We want to do praise singing.
That's what you do.
On what? The SHS?
On anything.
This is a flashy program that were trumpeted by my flag bearer then in opposition and in government. We want to implement this free SHS policy. Has a far-reaching benefit, social benefit for everybody in this country, because at a point in time you give birth, your children will go to school. I think this will be after national health insurance. This will be the biggest social intervention policy that any government in our history will introduce. Free SHS. Send your wards to school free. He's not going to pay anything. If he's going to boarding house, he goes there only with the chop box that you have bought for the person.
But you're not saying that the current system inhibits parents from being able to send their children to school, are they?
You see, I am from, my constituency is a deprived constituency. Do you know the number of people who comes to me with admission letter want me to pay for their wards to go to school?
Really?
I am telling you, every academic year, when they are doing intake, I am not sitting on your platform to just send your cameramen, go to Akim Swedru Secondary School, go and meet the headmaster. How many people I send them there, I pay.
Who are on your bursary? Who are on your bursary?
Yes.
I see.
I pay.
You are rich.
I pay for them. Every year when there's a new admission, not less than 25 people, I pay for the admission. Those going for boarding, those going for day. So if the admission fee, parents, even admission fee for day students around maybe 600 or 400, so they are not able to get money to pay. And because of them, because of that, maybe their wards cannot continue the education, which is very sad in a society which we should not allow such to fester or go on. And this government comes in and says, you know what? No country has developed without taking or giving proper attention to it, human capital. No nation. UNICEF have said it, there are a lot of this thing that has come up, that before a country can move on, its human capital must be developed well. So we are talking, we want more jobs, government should open factories and all those. When you open those factories, which people are going to work there?
You need the expertise.
With the level of dedication that we have now. So government says that, okay, let's have a national policy. Free SHS. Take your wards to school. Nothing should limit that person. And you know, what I'm so in love, happy about this policy is that the policy is not about just only the money aspect. It is addressing about 5 key areas. It's talking about accessibility. It's talking about quality. It's talking about employable skills. It's talking about cost, removing of cost barriers, and it's talking about equity. So this government, in coming out with this policy, did not just wake up and come. The government is doing this in consideration of the SDG 4, the Sustainable Development Goal 4, which talks about giving equal opportunity to every child, giving accessibility of education to every child, making sure that every child has, unemployable skills. Nothing should limit anybody, prevent any
And that is
child.
what government intends
and
to
that
do.
is what government intends to do.
That's good.
It is a very good. And I am happy that my brother here is going to support this policy. We should put our political differences or whatever bias aside and support this government. Because if you have 20 people at your end that you are going to pay every... now I'm going to keep my money...
And use it for other things.
Use it for other things. Because, well, I can build a KVIP for some villages and keep that money and do... So, I mean, I think we have to commend government for such a bold steps. I mean, giving opportunity to every parent. And I want to sit back and after a year, when we have done a review, an assessment of this policy, we will say yes. But notwithstanding, I know that there is going to be some kind of obstacles. But government is determined to deal with those obstacles head on. Government is not oblivious of the obstacles or the challenges that we face with this SHS policy. But government, the good thing that the government, the MPP government, led by Nana Addo Dankwa, and the minister of the sector, Matthew Poku Prempeh, they are determined to deal with every obstacle or challenges to make sure that we succeed. Because if we are able to succeed with this flagship program, then hooray.
It's okay. You're more than the education minister yourself.
Exactly. Exactly. You see, Roland, let me assure my chairman here.
I thought you say you want to congratulate government for this.
I'm sure by the time I finish my submission, you would have known whether I'm congratulating them or I'm making some suggestions to them. Let me tell my chairman here and our viewing public that the minority, and for that matter, the NDC, is not opposed to any move that will make secondary education accessible to the Ghanaian public.
Right.
After all, that is the dictates of our 1992 Constitution. And so, to the extent that you have a credible policy aimed at making students have access to secondary education, we would support you. However, we have a very big challenge with the way and manner you are proceeding with the free senior high school implementation. In fact, you must be gracious enough to admit in the first place that what you are giving to the Ghanaian public today is not what you promised to do in opposition.
What did you promise?
What did you promise?
You promised to offer universal free education as free secondary education.
In where? In our constitution?
In your constitution.
Please, can you quote?
In your manifesto.
No, we have no. Now,
no,
what
Chairman,
you see?
Chairman, take it easy. Take it easy.
Are you paraphrasing?
You are paraphrasing.
Chairman, you can come back.
No. I want you to, if you have the opportunity, let us see which portion of our constitution which says universal. Yes, it's never true. We never say universal.
You didn't promise free.
We said we will give free senior high school.
And now having one power, all that we are doing is to offer the so-called free senior high school to only
which one?
First years.
That is what we came to meet.
No, Chairman, take it easy. What it means, therefore, is that second year and third year students would not be benefiting from that.
They still have free tuition.
Chairman, take it easy.
They still
free tuition has been in existence.
Yes, they still enjoy government scholarship.
You see, Chairman, we are now coming. The chicken are now coming home to roost. What we are doing is nothing but enhanced scholarship. You see, currently, a parent may have voted for you because
his word was in
SS2, SS3, and having been tired of paying school fees, let me vote for free senior high school. Now you have come to deceive them. So you must be admitting that what you are implementing today is not what you promised. And that is very, very clear with the MPP. You know, I don't want to drift into some other areas, but you see, you don't promise one thing.
Well, I believe
and
you
then when you
give me the opportunity to respond to.
When you are speaking, I had some
but my time is up. I have to close.
But I have to take my time.
Then,
to listen to you, Chairman.
No. You see,
Chairman, this is unfair.
You see,
Chairman, this is unfair.
You see,
Chairman, this is unfair.
There's some issue you raised that
Chairman,
maybe we have to address.
I disagree with you when you are speaking, but I allowed you to proceed.
No, because I never made any contentious issue that make you.
You must be admitting that what you are offering today is not what you pledged to do.
We have not pledged to
Chairman,
give anything which is different from what we are doing.
You see, our problem with you is that
You mean with the NPP and
yes,
government?
And government. We subscribe to that. But we had advocated for making secondary education accessible to all in the first place. And that's why we accompanied it with progressive scholarship scheme where needy but brilliant students were supported by the Ministry of Education.
You are not by this saying that if we have an implementation of the policy, the scholarship schemes progressively
let me just
stop.
Let me just.
They will not be so. They'll be running alongside.
No, you don't give free senior high school. I mean, everything is
but
free
the second year and the third year.
So what are you offering scholarships for?
The second and the third year. The second and the third year.
For instance,
the minister said they'll be augmented with scholarships.
Yes, they'll be augmented. So what are you saying?
Chairman, I beg you. For instance, in my constituency, we don't have a secondary school. We don't. And so our priority first is to have the facility. And that's where President Muhammad
I have told you accessibility. I have told you accessibility. As we are speaking now, even Saudi Arabian government has given a grant to build 42 model schools.
I expect you to call my chairman to order.
You see? No, you are addressing an issue which I have to respond to.
I think you know your chairman better than I do.
You see?
You are talking about accessibility.
You are talking of
putting up physical.
The $40 million is
that one is from World Bank.
That one is from World Bank. The Saudi Arabia is to fund 42 model schools.
Yes, model schools.
And if I know model schools, they are existing schools that will be upgraded.
Yeah, we want to upgrade and expand it.
But they're not the same. For example, his constituency, they have nothing.
They don't have what? But they could have, President Muhammad should have given them one of the second.
So it's construction. But work has taught since you came into power.
This government is going to make sure. The president said everything that the past government did.
Where
we will never leave. Let me tell you, brother, we will never leave that.
The work has stalled there.
Work has stalled.
No.
And so to the people
of you are saying that's a deceit.
No, the Minister of Education. I want to assure you.
The most important thing is to have the facility.
I want to assure you. That facility, I want to assure you, that facility, government is going to complete.
Kennedy Osei Nyako is a member of parliament for Akim Swedro. And the member of parliament for Myong is Mohammed Abdulaziz.